Hey ladies, welcome back to Somebody Come Listen to This podcast. I am your host, Naba. If you're new here, welcome, and please do me a favor and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 2K. It's been taking forever, but I'm trying to get there. Help me out, ladies. And let's get into this topic, y'all. Let's talk about women leaving quietly, leaving silently when you decide that you no longer want to be in a relationship. A lot of women do this because they know that they have to do this in order to save their lives. And a lot of women, some of them, they just do it just because, just because they're done. But I think that women really need to start practicing doing this in 2025 because a lot of these men are becoming unhinged. The more and more they see women like pulling away from them, and the harder it is to get into relationships for them, they are going to be unhinged. So if they do get into a relationship with you, they're not going to want to let you go because they know it's going to take them forever to find another relationship. So if they mess up in any way, a lot of these men are not going to want to let you go. And many of them will take you out and have taken women out. So we're going to get into these videos, and then later on I'll come back and we're going to talk about a woman who didn't leave quietly. She was married, and her husband, she thought that the divorce was amicable. He was being nice, no signs of any anger or anything. And then he took her out. We're going to come back and talk about that a little bit later, but let's get into these videos first.
Advice I would give women 1,000,000 times. Leave quietly. Always leave quietly. If a man ghosts you, don't say anything. Leave quietly. If a man disrespects you, leave quietly. Don't say anything. And the reason for that is men thrive off of negative emotions from you. The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. So when you send those long paragraphs telling him like how much he pissed you off and how you hate him and don't talk to me ever again, that is still a viable emotion that he is getting your energy from. It shows that you care to some degree. I'm telling you, nothing feels better than taking your power back and not saying anything. Leave his ass confused and stuck. Just dismiss him. Start dismissing men. I promise you, it will make your life so peaceful. And I mean, you could apply it to any relationships. I do. I see your bullshit and I'm not acknowledging it. Certain things just aren't worth your time, so you need to act like it. Just leave quietly. Just leave quietly.
Hey ladies, one of my favorite things to do when dating a man is to not crash out over him. When those red flags start popping up, when things start going south and they never get no better, and you just politely pack your bags and leave, that's what gets them. That's what hurts. I literally just saw a man make a video about this the other day, talking about these type of women need to be put in jail. The ones that will get their stuff and leave and find a new man. That hurts. They know. That cut deep, baby. Because I don't even care about you enough to cuss you out. I'm not even invested enough in this to actually get mad over it. That means I'm all the way gone. That means I'm mentally, I probably been left this relationship. Like, I might have been here for the last couple of months, but I ain't really been here for the last couple of months. I might be physically leaving now, but emotionally, I've been out the door. There's a time for cussing a man out. There's definitely a time and a place. But sometimes the best thing to do is to leave silently. Don't say a word. You won't get a reaction out of me, baby. You know what you did. We both know what you did. I got another man waiting on me right now, baby. I gots to go. I gotta go. Have a good day.
Why leaving in silence will make it harder for him to forget you. If you're in a situation where things aren't going the way you'd hoped and you've already expressed a desire for change to no avail and he is still being inconsiderate, indecisive, and disrespectful, and it is perfectly okay to leave without any explanation. Yes, it seems harsh, but you've already expressed yourself and he's not changing. When you leave without giving an explanation, you've now become a mystery and he's left with all these unanswered questions. Think about it. Now he's wondering what happened, why you disappeared, what went wrong, what did he do wrong? He's filling in all the gaps himself because you have gone completely radio silent. By leaving in silence, you become a puzzle that he can't solve, because before you were predictable, you were convenient. By giving him all the energy that he was not reciprocating, he had an easy read on you. Now that you've up and left, he's completely thrown off. And because he wasn't the one who ended things, it can feel like he's the one who's lost because he didn't choose this. He's not the one who walked away. You did. And on an ego level, for men, that hurts on a whole nother level. So yeah, walking away without saying a word can seem really cold, but sometimes silence really speaks the loudest. And trust me, it'll be harder for him to forget about you anytime soon. Disclaimer, do not leave with the sole reason of trying to make him not forget about you. You want to leave because it's best for you and you want to move on with your life, not thinking about him anymore. But one of the 48 laws of power is always say less than necessary. Silence truly is a superpower because we as humans, we can't take silence. We have to fill it. And if you're gone, he will use energy trying to figure out.
Silence is where it's at. You gotta leave like a ninja on these ninjas. Because all that talking and trying to get you to understand or to see my point of view or for me to understand your point of view, it's futile. Because these ninjas gone ninja. So it's up to us to really decide how much effort, energy, and time are we trying to pour into someone who only sees his point of view. Leaving in silence sort of reminds me of that Homer Simpson meme where he just slowly disappears into the bushes like you didn't see me coming. I'm nowhere to be seen. That's how we got to pull out. The law of detachment is real. Let's normalize leaving in silence and not making a big stink or a big fuss. Leaving with our dignity intact. Leaving with power and just leaving. Yeah. In silence.
What to do and how to respond when someone hurts your feelings or when somebody breaks your heart. When that person says, you know what, this just isn't working for me. You know what, we're on different paths. You know what, blah, 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 blah. And your feelings are hurt. Let me tell you what to do. Hands down, best remedy. This is how you leave in silence. 3 different responses. You hit them with, okay. You hit them with K. If you're really frustrated, just say K. Don't say nothing else. 3, and my favorite, hit them with agreed. That's it. And you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you. Hit agreed. Type agreed. Then I want you to go into your phone, change their name to do not answer. Me, I have probably 100 people who are named do not answer. Therefore, I will not answer. Go to your text message thread, delete. If you have an iPhone, go to your folders, go to recently deleted, delete so that it's permanently deleted, and blockly, block, and move on with your life. This will prevent you from ruminating. This will prevent you from that feeling of, I put myself out there and all of these things, and now this person is rejecting me. When you do that, it's almost like they just disappear, like poof, poof, they're gone. Let me tell you again. Okay, K, agreed. Agreed is my favorite. This is how, as an ADHD woman, this is how you leave a relationships in silence. Try it.
Y'all, this couple story is really insane. So the woman to the right is Jennifer, and she was 30 years old. She went online discussing her divorce with her husband and how they're in the process and that he was making it easy for her. She also expressed how grateful she was for his help and how cooperative he was. But little did she know this was all a facade and this man had sinister plans. On December 28th, he decided to unalive himself and her. Though they seemed like they had it together, that was not the case. But check out the video and see how eerie it is.
I am in the middle of a divorce. My husband is being incredible though. Really and truly, we're working together. Everything's great. We're splitting everything down the middle. Everything is good. It is a very civil divorce with our daughter in mind. And I really appreciate that. However, I'm going to be on my own, single income right now. And he will be helping with her. He will be supporting her. So essentially, I'm really thankful for that, and that I will not have to worry so much about supporting her. However, I will be on a very limited income, with buying a new house and, paying a mortgage and all that stuff. So, I've never done this before. I've never been on my own before. So, if you have any tips, saving money, making money, anything like that, I would really appreciate it. Coffee at home, You know, I take caffeine pills. I do my own hair, nails, everything. Like, I do all that. So yeah, if you just have any tips, like, I would really appreciate it, because like I'm a little scared right now.
I took some time off, but I wanted to come back on really quick to talk about the Jennifer Sheffield case. She was on my FYP in the beginning of December. She had posted a video about leaving her marriage and how her husband was being supportive and cooperative with her, and she was looking forward to her new life as a single mom. And as a lot of us know, a few weeks after that video was posted, her husband unalived her and himself, leaving their 2 kids with no mother and no father. Besides feeling immense shock and sadness when I read about Jennifer's story, the one thing that really came into my mind is this saying that a lot of people have put into my comments whenever I've talked about the struggles in my marriage and my impending divorce. And that is, the man that you divorce is not the man that you marry. When I first talked to my husband about getting a divorce, I also hoped that this could be something that would be amicable, that my husband would be cooperative and understanding of why I needed to do this. And I realized that I was still looking for my husband to behave how he behaved in the beginning of our marriage, not understanding completely that he's not that man anymore. This has been a slow burn for me, at least. I've been married for 17 years, so it's been a process all throughout these years of my husband changing into this person that I don't even know. He's like a stranger to me now. But when I saw Jennifer's video, I did understand the desire almost that you have for him to somehow just understand and show a last kindness or understanding to you about why you need to do this. But the man that we married is gone. He's gone. That's why we want to be divorced, because that man he's not there anymore. It's a horrible feeling. It's a horrible thing to accept, but it is definitely necessary when you are going on this road to divorce and trying to make this huge life change for yourself. I'm realizing that, and that difficulty of accepting that your husband's not the man that you married, it's definitely a process. It's a very painful process, and it can take years for you to get into acceptance of that. It took years for me. I hope people can have some grace and understanding for why women stay in these marriages for as long as they do, and how difficult it is for them to leave, not just because of their physical safety, but just mentally and emotionally, how difficult it is to accept that this person that you loved, you made a family with, you had children with, is now a stranger.
He killed her 18 days later. December 28th, her husband, the same one that she is saying that she's having an amicable divorce from, killed her in a murder-suicide. I know we all want to live in this world where it's like, why can't we split amicably? A man is the most dangerous when you are leaving him. Leaving a man that does not want to be left is dangerous. I don't care if that man has never put his hands on you. I don't care if he still wants the relationship and you do not want the relationship. I want you to approach that situation with caution in mind. And I want to say it was probably still amicable in the beginning on account of he probably thought in his heart of hearts that we're not really going to get a divorce. She's just talking. And once he realized that it's really going to happen, he did what he did. With no care for their daughter in mind, who is now an orphan and has to live with the fact that she's an orphan because her father did what he did. It's not all men, but it's always a man. It's not all men, but it's always a man. When it comes to stories like this, there's just like, what can you say? When you are going through a divorce, you need to be careful. You need to be careful. Okay? Y'all stay safe.
So, this lady had kids with this man. When y'all have kids with these men, that makes it harder for you to leave in silence, because you have to communicate with them about your children, and they know that they can trap you like that. they know they can use the kids as an excuse to get close to you, to take you out of here, or to take your kids out of here. And sometimes, even if they are abusive, the courts will sometimes give them custody of the kids still. And that makes it harder. So that's why I'm telling women in 2025 to just stop having kids, y'all. I know nobody's going to listen. A lot of people won't listen, but it's so much easier for women to survive in and out of marriages without having kids. Like, we really, the way this world is going right now, we really don't need kids. I don't even encourage women to get in marriages, because how would she have known this? Like, he was calm, cool, and collected, and there's no way you can tell. She was probably one of the women that were saying, not my husband. You know, so many women do that, and so many women end up like her because they won't listen. My only suggestion is, when you're going through a divorce, if you have kids and you can't just leave silently, whenever you meet up with your husband, arm yourself. Whenever you go to bed at night, arm yourself. Sleep with a pew-pew next to your bed or something, because these men, they feel like you shouldn't be able to leave them in a marriage or a relationship. A lot of them will tell you that if I can't have you, nobody else will or can. But even if they don't tell you that, they're thinking it in their mind. I've seen so many videos of men saying that women just want to leave relationships just because they're not happy, because they're unhappy. Like, that's not good enough reason to leave. They don't think you should be able to leave them just because they're not making you happy. They really feel like you should have to stay with them throughout everything. If they cheat, they even think that you should have to stay if they cheat. A lot of them do. That's why they're trying to make laws to prevent women from leaving. They're trying to mess with the no-fault divorce laws to make it harder for women to leave when their man is committing adultery. When he's hitting on her, they're saying you have to prove it. You have to prove it. And it's like they also are trying to change laws that women will get in trouble if you look in your husband's cell phone trying to prove that he's cheating on you. So y'all better be careful out here. Like, and the fact that this woman's family had their funeral together and they're justifying it. He took her out and they had the funeral together. That just goes to show that nobody really cares about women. Nobody cares. So if we don't care about each other and our plights, why do we expect anybody else to care about us? If we're not standing up and just crying out and fighting for each other, why do we expect anybody else to care about us? This woman was so happy to be moving forward with her life, and this man probably just couldn't bear to think that she could be happy without him. And he was probably imagining her getting another man, somebody that treated her better, and he just couldn't take it. And a lot of y'all are laid up with men like this. Y'all think it's cute when y'all first start dating that he's jealous. Y'all think it's cute. No, they'll take you out. They'll take you out. And for the not all people, all you have to do is look in the comments to see who almost lost their lives, who had to get out quietly. Any comments under this lady's video, any video about this lady's story, all you have to do is read them and see all of the women. That just goes to show you cannot tell which man it is. You can't just look at a man and say, not him. In 2025, y'all really have to think about your self-preservation and stop thinking about a fairy tale, being married with a family and picket fences and a dream wedding. Y'all really have to start thinking about survival. So I'm going to get into some of these comments, y'all. I'm not going to read them, but when you got time, you can stop and read them or go back and look at them. But let's get into these comments.
have learned, and I wish I would have learned early in life, but I learned it now, and I don't mind sharing this with y'all, is silence is the language of the wise. Like, I used to always like explain to people what they did to me. I used to always have a clap back. I used to always like have something to say, like I will read you to the field. I'm gonna go in about me, like don't lie on my name, don't say nothing about me, and don't mess with me, cause like I'm gonna take it there. But ever since I realized silence is more powerful than talking, I shut up. Like, if you don't think, and another thing, learning that people know exactly what they're doing. If you think that people don't know what they're doing and you got to explain yourself to them, like what hurt you or what they was doing weird or what it was wrong at, then you got a lot of healing to do, because people know exactly what they was doing. And it was at that moment that I realized that people do know exactly what they're doing. People do know right from wrong. People do know when they hurting you. People do know when they fucking you over. People do know that you're going to express yourself. You're going to forgive them, and you'll be back. That was when I decided that I'm going to always leave. And instead of like arguing before I leave or the cut off, I'm going to stop saying anything. I'm going to actually cut them off silently, because it's going to hurt them more. It's going to make them think more. Like, we don't get no closure around here. I'm going to just cut you off. I don't know who need to hear this, but stop talking so much and cut them off in silence. Thank me later.
You don't need to announce your departure. Explaining to a man what he did to you and what he did was wrong, and you're not going to accept this treatment, and this is your last straw and you're done for good, it's not going to do anything. The same woman that we're calling a pick-me-sha, that is letting a man do anything that he wants to do, and the girl that is over-explaining herself is the same girl. Y'all both a pick-me-sha. Aw, you thought you were standing up for yourself? You over-explaining, you're a pick-me-sha too, baby, and I'm so sorry to tell you this. You want to know what I do when a man that I told that I prefer phone conversations and I don't want to be texted to death, okay? When he continues to text me, I read his messages and I don't respond. Want to know what happens? My phone starts ringing. Exactly. Show him with your actions. You don't need to announce your departure, and you don't need to write a eulogy.
Now, trust me in this. A woman who lives silently, without drama, without struggle, without fighting, never comes back. But those who live with a lot of drama, destroying things, fighting you, struggling, arguing, and doing all the rest, always come back. Keep smiling.
So yeah, ladies, that's all I got. I ran across many videos of women saying they're not going to leave quietly. They're going to tell him what they think. They're going to cuss him out. They're going to do A, B, and C. And if you run across women like that and you're trying to tell them to just leave silently and they don't listen, just stop talking to them. Some women have to learn the hard way. Like, some people have to learn the hard way. But that's all I got. Get down in the comments and tell me your thoughts on this video. Please like and share, and I will talk to you ladies later. Bye.